Hi, are you ready for a recap of Forging Silver into Stars? Be prepared for spoilers. We've got a lot of ground to cover. Callyn and Jax are two longtime friends in a small village of Briarlock on the outskirts of Syhl Shallow. They each have a family history distrusting magic and their new king, Gray. Both are desperate for money to pay back taxes, and that's when a suspicious member of the court asks Jax for help to pass a message. He starts passing sealed messages for Lady Carol and Lord Alec without knowing what's inside. Tycho stumbles upon the village by accident, and there's immediately something drawing him to Jax. But he sees Lord Alec there and he gets suspicious. On his second visit, Lord Alec provokes Tycho into a fight and nearly kills him, allowing Tycho to give Jax the opportunity to give Alec the message. As a result, Alec no longer trusts Jax, and instead starts passing messages through Callyn, also striking up a bit of a romance. At the Crystal Palace, Alec tells of Tycho's attack in Briarlock and casts doubt on his loyalty, framing him as the rebel sympathizer and member of the Truthbringers instead of Alec. During this time, Gray and Tycho's relationship becomes fraught as Gray loses trust in Tycho, and Tycho feels he can't talk about how it's affecting him. Gray, who is grieving Liamara's miscarriage and a brief disappearance of his daughter, makes him leave his magic rings and sends him away from court back to Iron Rose Castle. Instead of going straight back, Tycho stops in to see Jax, and they share a romantic night together. Once in Emberfall, Tycho and Prince Ren try to figure out what Alex is up to since he followed Jax there. They also finish preparations for the start of a tournament that Liamara instigated in order to sow unity among their two nations. General sentiment is overwhelmingly suspicious of the king's magic, and the fact that Liamara's pregnancy went so poorly does not help this. Turns out the new nanny they hired for Princess Cinna is Lady Carol, and she and her co-conspirators kidnap the queen and princess and bring them to Briarlock. They hide them in Callyn's barn, and when Callyn discovers this, she realizes that Alec was using her and not actually loyal to the queen. So she works to help Liamara and Cinna. Meanwhile, Gray is sent a ransom note, and he races off to save his wife and child with zero plan, using magic to speed his way. Tycho tags along, which is a good thing because Gray uses all of his magic and burns out. The Scraber Nakis, who Tycho rescues impulsively earlier in the book, comes to their rescue, requiring Tycho to swear to come to fight in his defense for a week at some future point. He also explains to Tycho that because he wore Gray's magic rings so long, he now has his own magic power, which Tycho uses to heal Gray. The Scraber transports them to Briarlock and disappears. Gray and Tycho go to the forge first to talk to Jax, but they find his abusive dad there, out of jail early after Tycho had gotten him locked away for nearly killing Jax. The dad attacks Gray with magical metal that steals his power, and it's revealed he's been working with the Truthbringers for money. Tycho escapes immediately to go to Liamara to free her and Cinna. Gray and Jax gather supplies to aid in the effort. There's a big battle where the Scravers come to the aid of Gray and Jax saves the day with his bow and arrows, which Tycho taught him earlier in the book. It's discovered that those who had the magical metal for a long time now have magic, including Liamara, but also Callyn, who had a metal pendant passed on from her mother. Both Callyn and Jax are pardoned for their complicity in the plot because of how they helped the royals. In the end, Tycho is sent to stay in Emberfall with Prince Ren and invites Jax to become a blacksmith there, and they head to their new home. Liamara invites Callyn and her sister to come with them back to court to help take care of Cinna because there's still a big plot against the throne, and she and Gray don't know who to trust. The epilogue gives us a glimpse of Alec vowing to still destroy Gray and become a dangerous enemy to Callyn if she betrays him. Thanks for listening to our recap. I hope that you enjoy this. Carving Shadows into Gold, the sequel, comes out January 28th.